You're watching Fred Facts.
Fred Facts.
Hi everybody, in today's episode we're going to be talking about dancers who we aspire to be. Now of course, aside from Fred Astaire, I think it's safe to say that almost all ballroom and Latin dancers have been influenced by the late great Michael Jackson, the king of pop. But before we get into that, I think I need to change out of this for something more fitting. Okay, there we go. Much better and more suiting for today's topic, which is, once again, the admiration and friendship that Michael Jackson and Fred Astaire had with each other over the course of their careers. Michael Jackson once said that Fred Astaire told him things he'll never forget. Being compared to Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly made him feel as though he'd been inducted to some informal fraternity hall of fame of the great dancers of the world. And he said he felt honored to be compared and part of that team because those were people he admired most when he grew up being a dancer himself. Now, like I said, ballroom dancers, we all love to aspire to be dancers who we see something that moves us in them, and Fred Astaire saw so much in the young talent that was Michael Jackson. Their love and admiration for each other went on and on throughout the course of their careers. One example was after the iconic historic Motown 25, which was in 1983, Fred Astaire called up Michael Jackson the next day and said, "Michael, I watched last night's Motown and I loved it. I taped it and then the next morning I watched it again and I was in awe of what you did on the floor with that moonwalk thing. You're a hell of a mover," Fred Astaire said. Michael Jackson dedicated his Moonwalk autobiography to Fred Astaire. He also honored Fred through his music video for Smooth Criminal, which hinted at the 1953 film The Bandwagon. Now, over the course of their careers, they kept in contact and had close friendships. And before Fred Astaire died, he was quoted saying, "I didn't want to leave this world without knowing who my predecessor was. And with Michael Jackson, I now know who he is."
Fred Facts.